Good evening. Welcome to a Monday night soccer night, ILFL soccer night tonight. David's taking a break, and what a time for it to take a break, because this is our last show for this year. We won't be back until next year, and we've had our last set of fixtures from yesterday. So we are going to try to wrap up as much as we can. We'll probably have a look at the whole year as a summary, and what better way to do it than to actually have our ILFL committee members more or less represented here. And that's how we're going to go about it today. No video clips to show you, so we're just going to talk about the results from yesterday, look at the season that we've had, and then look at the season we can look forward to. And there's so much for us to talk to. Across my left, I have our usual experts and pundits. Nanu on the far side with his little iPad, ready to spurn out the stats for the year. And our wheeler and dealer, our hustler, Rashid, the only man that knows everything about every single team. Gents, welcome for the final time this year on ILFL Soccer Night. And over to our right here, I have our young up-and-coming publicity man and keeping the ILFL in the media and in the news. Shaquille, welcome. And leave the best till last. Cameron's chairman of ILFL, keeping this thing alive, keeping the dream alive. Been what, 11, 12 years that ILFL's going. Welcome, Cameron. Okay, so let's start with what happened recently. Yesterday we had a whole load of fixtures, quite a few teams off, but it's because we dealt with the cup games and we had one league game, and I think we want to cover that one league game. Up on your screen, coming up for you there, you are going to see the only game that was played in the first division, and that was between Robin Hood Tigers and Burdett. Robin Hood Tigers winning that game 6-2. Only league game out of the three divisions that was played. Therefore, I will show you that one division table. It looks like that the first division has. Going into the Christmas break, Crusaders sitting there on top with a 100% record, 46 goals scored, only 8 conceded. Then we have Seoul Youth in second place, 7 games they've won, 2 they've lost, so they've got a nice 5-point cushion there. From third place, Robin Hood Tigers, last year's promoted team from the second division, in third place in 16 points, but hot on their heels with a game in hand. We've got Ace on 13 and then Stepney B behind them on 12. That is the top 5 for the first division, and the bottom 4 is made up of Bow, Saya, Burdett, who just lost to Robin Hood yesterday, and Beaumont Youth yet to pick up points. Let's just quickly have a word about the first division. Rash, as always, you and I have had our tussles and our talks about the first division. Sizing up, that's the way it's looking for Christmas, as I've just shown.
Yeah, it's looking good for our Crusaders. I'm a bit disappointed with Robin Hood. I know they had a good win yesterday, but considering the squad they had, the ambition they had, and the success in the summer and the winter last season, I expected them to be more or less closer. With the 8 points difference between the first and third, is a big gap, unfortunately. They could obviously, there's a few more games to go, chase up for the second position, but I expected a bit more. So on that note, it's not looking good. But Seoul Youth surprised everyone. A lot of youngsters, saw them play yesterday. They're doing well, but again, similar to Ace and Stepney B, I expected more. But we'll see how it goes in the year.
Any justice for Beaumont Youth? I mean, they beat Robin Hood to the title last year, and they're sitting rock bottom there.
Yeah, we've changed your management, changed your players. We've got a lot of youth, and the idea was, again, similar to last year, I said, look, it's not about the winning, it's about participating, get the youth, get the experience, get to know the system, etc. Because we've got a new bunch of players. And for me, I said to them, look, just go there, play. And if you play properly, and soon the victory will come, and hopefully they enjoy the experience and get to learn more. I think Division 1 has been too hard for them, considering the Division 2 they had. I think if they do relegate, I think it'll suit them in Division 2, to be honest.
Okay. Nanu, I mean, just your thoughts on that first division. I mean, you participated in some of the teams last year, but some of the new teams, like Rash just touched on, Seoul Youth, we're looking at Ace as well there. I mean, and Crusaders obviously doing blinding. I mean, your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are that Robin Hood, to be honest with you, I think, to be fair, they need the credit. They're in third position. Hadn't it been for Crusaders and Seoul Youth coming into the mix, I think they would have been right at the top. You know, the only team that has actually slightly disappointed me is Ace, because Ace, there was lots of high hopes for Ace. You know, they did fantastic in the summer. You know, and a lot of teams were expecting them to be coming in and getting into business. You know, from the start, but that never materialized. So, I mean, still, if you look at the the table, they're still in fourth place. So, as mentioned earlier on, it's Crusaders and Seoul Youth that have created this toxic environment for those two teams. And without those two teams, there's no doubt Robin Hood or Ace would win at the top.
Okay. Well, that's our first division from yesterday, and so that's the way it's looking going into the Christmas break. So fixtures hopefully resuming second or third Sunday of January. Keep an eye out on our website. That will be concrete on there. That is your point of information. That is your point of call. Check the ILFL website to make sure you've got your fixtures in place and you know what you've got come the second half of the season. I'm just going to quickly take you back up on the screen because we need to do justice to the other tables. So we'll start with our cream of the crop. Let's look at the Premier Division table up on your screen for you. There it is. Sitting there top is what we expected, having not seen that at the start of the season. London Tigers are sitting top of the table, joint, but with that, with that more goals scored, so not even goal difference, because Stepney are there. Although they've been pipped, it's just because London Tigers have scored more goals. So both of them there on 20 points, and if possible, Reach Out could leapfrog them because although they're a point behind them, they have a game in hand on 19. Lotus FC also on 19 points, having played one more game than Reach Out. And then we have Hawk and Eagle, a good recovery from Hawk and Eagle, and we're going to get the views on that very shortly, having sat bottom of the table to start with. They're in a respectable 5th position going into the winter break. And then we have last year's runners-up, West End, in 6th place. Sounds like a similar story to what happened to Chelsea, maybe. Plenty to talk about there. Bromley, Beaumont and Leytonstone make up the numbers. I mean, Leytonstone there, 1-1, drawn 1. That's the only results they got. And sitting bottom there, being the League Cup holders. Cams, I might as well just move over to you. I mean, the Premier Division, earlier in the year, you came across, well, early in the season, I should say, because it was only the autumn that we got this started. You came in and said, really, Hawk and Eagle are starting to feel the strength and the wrath of the Premier Division. Wrath, if I can call it that, because it's very hot this year. But they're doing really well now.
Yeah, I mean, we've beginning to pick up momentum of late, but the Premiership this year, I've got to say, it's very, very tough. We had Nurubai from London Tigers here a few weeks back, and he said that he feels the new name will be on the shield this year round, and it certainly looks like that. I mean, it's good for football, it's good for the league that new teams are coming in, they're mixing with the old boys, the big boys, and they're just making football very, very exciting. Any of those 5-6 teams can still take the title.
I mean, we should probably mention the new teams that have made the fold there. I mean, Lotus FC, Reach Out, Hawk and Eagle, practically new teams to the Premier Division. Have they been a good mix to that, and have they really made a good representation of this league?
I think they have, and you can see from the table that they're all sitting respectively, all 5, 5th and above, really. Lotus is a really good team that we like. They play good football, neat football. They're all good lads. Reach Out came runners-up with Hawk and Eagle last year, and they've just improved, really. Whereas most teams have stayed at a stalemate or come down. Reach Out are probably the only team that have improved and strengthened their squad. Very, very exciting to watch. Very good team.
Shaks, I should probably touch on Bromley. I mean, you got the old horse Bromley. They're still there. They've been one of our longest-standing Premiership teams. I mean, sitting third from bottom, but it was a similar sort of thing last year. Are we seeing a new crop of players maybe coming across Bromley and maybe reinforcing that just to save themselves from any sort of relegation battle?
No, I think they're giving more chance to the youth than last year, because last year they did have the juniors as well. So now the juniors gone, I think they've more of a mix of the juniors and the older guys. So I think it's more of a mix. The youth are sort of struggling at the moment, but I think the second half will be a total different story, I think. And I don't think they'll be in 7th. I think they'll probably finish top 5 or top 6.
Okay, so pipping some of those other teams that have got titles. I mean, Rash, if I just quickly get your thoughts on the Premier Division, because you've pretty much seen all the games this year.
Yeah. I must say, as I'll agree with Cameron, Reach Out as a team to look out for. Stepney, they got the experience. Tigers got the reputation. Lotus has surprised a lot of teams. To be honest, I know West End, Bromley, Beaumont and Hawk and Eagle, they will get more points. They will mix it up with the top 3 games, top 3 teams, I mean. And we will see a lot of changes in the new year.
Nana, your thoughts on the Premier Division before we look at the final league table of ours?
I have to say, Reach Out do look like the team that is sticking out, honestly. If they win the next game, they will be 2 points clear if the other teams don't play. And that would be the same games played. But one thing I have to mention is Hawk and Eagle team. Now, earlier on in the season, I know it's a newcomer, new to the Premier Division, and expectations were very low, and they struggled early on in the season. And I sat here and I was wondering, you know, David asked me a question, how do you think Hawke and Eagle is going to fare? And I said it's going to be one of the casualties. But more recently, the team has shown some resilience, and they've been, you know, winning some games. So with that, they moved up the ladder. So, you know, I think that's one of the teams that have actually impressed me more recently than any other team.
Okay, we're going to look at the second division before we look at the results from the Cup last night. So coming up for you on the screen, we have our third and final division, and it's our division with 10 teams. There you can see top of the table, Walthamstow Red Star. They are sitting quite pretty on the top with a 5-point cushion. Note that they don't have a 100% record. They've got that one game that they've lost, and who have they lost it against? None other than the team in second place. St Catherine's there, hot on the heels, 5 points to really call back, but the fact they've beaten Red Star gives us some hope that that might not be as tight and as clear cut as we can see. Our impressive team into their second season with us, Redcoats, sit there in third place. Well done to them. I'm sure we've got plenty to say about them. AMY, one of our new teams, have certainly impressed alongside Walthamstow Red Star, and they are there in fourth place at 16 points, and then they've got a 5-point cushion from the Arsenal. The Gunners are there in with 11 points in fifth position, and hot on their heels is West End Reserves and Tower Hamlets on 10 points, and then we have the bottom three there making up that table. That is the second division. Rash, I think we should just have a quick few words before we look at our League Cup results on the second division.
I think the team that was most impressive this season is Redcoat. For a team that's only been established for a couple of years to be in that position, and considering the season they had last year, this season they've been scoring goals, winning a lot of games. I know he's had a lot of players outside the area itself, so he shows. So credit to Redcoat for doing a very good half season so far.
Brilliant. And to all the teams this year, well done. Well done, you've actually made it a brilliant season. This has got to be one of our most competitive seasons in all three divisions, and we look forward to the final, the second half of that season. Right, we have got to talk about our League Cup, because this is what it was all about yesterday. Coming up for you on your screen right now, the Tower Hamlets Homes League Cup second round of results looks like this. We had Beaumont Youth versus, Beaumont senior team playing against Seoul Youth. That was a 2-2 draw. Beaumont beating them 5-4 on penalties. Well done, Beaumont. You are through to the next round, which is the quarterfinals. And then we had Reach Out play Hawke and Eagle. Reach Out winning that 6-2. That is a fixture that I've got a lot more to talk about, so we'll be coming back to that. Redcoat, you played the Arsenal and you've beaten them 6-2, and then what a game we had, the Stepney derby, Stepney A versus Stepney B, and wasn't that a game? 3 apiece it finished, and then it went to penalties. Heartache, 4-3, I believe that even went to sudden death. So that was a brilliant game. And then that result at the bottom, it was top of the Premier versus top of the second division. London Tigers beating Walthamstow Red Star 3-2. We've still got more fixtures. There's still Leytonstone, the cup holders, that play their fixture, but we will still be doing the draw subject to the other team playing against them and what result will come out from there. But I think, Cameron, I have to turn over to you, because the past 12 months at least, we have been talking Reach Out Hawke and Eagle, Reach Out Hawke and Eagle. I've got 30 seconds, please. Tell me about that game and how it went, because it seems like Reach Out just pipped you now.
They have. I mean, we've played them 4 times and they've beaten us 3 times. It's a very contested game between those two teams, and it seems like, you know, with all the local derbies that are happening, Reach Out and Hawke and Eagle have now become the next big thing.
It's nearly an El Clasico, isn't it?
It is. It's almost that. But you can see how strong Reach Out are. I mean, they concede goals, but boy, don't they score enough as well.
I mean, when you first played them, you beat them 2-1, and then you won the division already, and then you sort of, it was the league title that you took. But they've come to beat you since, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've strengthened since they came runners up in the first division, and they are very, very strong at the moment.
We've still got plenty more to talk about the League Cup. Let's go for a quick break. When you come back, we're going to do a cup draw and finish up on these results. I'll see you in a moment.